proceeded to stumble very badly trying to do that, and I had two pretty tough years, kind of a lost soul, trying to figure out how to do that with some vigor.
No fun, my babe. No fun. No fun to hang around, feeling that same old way. No fun to hang around, freak out for another day.
Iggy quit the Stooges in 1971. During his recovery in New York, Danny Fields introduced him to a young English rock star who was trying to crack the American market.
Where did you meet?
In a bar.
In a bar in New York.
Yeah.
You sure?
We were both unrecognized at the time, so we had a lot to, in common.
But I'd never seen Jimmy, really, but I'd heard some of his albums, and it sounded like, I don't know, nihilistic rock. It was nihilism.
But that's
which
true.
fascinates me.
I
love nihilism.
David Bowie too had been influenced, and at the end of 1972 he returned to America for the Ziggy Stardust tour, a character partly inspired by Iggy. The Stooges followed him back to the US to finish the Raw Power album and were installed in a luxury mansion in Los Angeles.
Give me danger, little stranger.
For what I was going to be able to do, and I would have to do something else. Enter David Bowie with experimental ideas.
You turned up at the clinic and said, I'm in a bad way, I want to be sorted out, and then Bowie came to see you, who was himself in quite a bad way.
He was jolly. I gather he was in a sense, but never disorganized. He was always exhibited good spirits, and I saw him 24/7 for several days at a time often, and he was together. He was together, but yeah, there was stuff going on,
Iggy went on the road with David then. He went on that Thin White Duke tour, and then they ended up in Berlin, where they both began to kind of rebuild their lives.
Night clubbing, we're night clubbing, we're what's happening.
Were you still on your mission to do something that other people weren't doing?
Oh yeah, and I had found my boy. Here was somebody very, very talented, and he wanted other outlets. There were certain things that I believe he was able to do with me that he chose not to do under his own flag.
We learn dances, brand new dances.
He wrote the music to Nightclubbing. I got very excited and insisted I write a lyric to that. It wasn't at all rock, and in that case, we used a drum machine. And at first he thought, well, gee, that's not, that doesn't sound professional enough, Yes, it does. It's good enough for me. It's only Iggy fucking pop, It doesn't have to sound, And we went for it, and it's that odd little Roland, it sounds cheap, but it sounds right for the song, And so I tended to egg him on in that way, and he was only too willing to go farther and farther.
Hey, baby, we like your lips. Hey, baby, we like your hands. Yeah, I feel lucky tonight. Get stoned and run around.
In the studio, Jimmy would make up the lyrics on the spot, and we would keep everything that he did, and occasionally change a line after we recorded. But Jimmy, I've never seen anybody be able to make up lyrics so fast, just out of his head to a track. A very spontaneous kind of lyric. It's not like a written thing at all with Jimmy.
Bowie had less involvement in Iggy's next album, but he did contribute the melody for its title track, one of Iggy's best-known songs.
He grabbed a ukulele one afternoon and started at it. He said, "Now, call that Lust for Life," which I imagine he'd probably gotten from the movie of the book of the painter. And Kirk Douglas doing Van Gogh, doing torture, self-torture, which fit the artist he was recording.
Now listen. Well, now I'm worth $1 million in prizes. With my torture film, I drive a GTO. I wear a uniform. All out of government law.
What the song says is that people with real enthusiasms are vulnerable to getting really fucked up, really screwed.
With a liquor and drug. Liquor and drug. Now I'm just a modern guy. Of course I had it in the heat of it all. Lust for life. Got lust for life.
The collaboration that Jimmy and I have had has been something because I was intoxicated with what I thought Jimmy stood for, and I would never ever want it to be considered that I was some kind of hand manipulator or Svengali behind what Jimmy's doing now, because he's getting popular now.
Was there pressure at this time for you to make your work more commercial?
There would have been if I wasn't working with David Bowie. With him, not at all. None whatsoever. There was an incredible pressure to make good work, to make it good, and there was self-imposed pressure to make it good also in terms of what should be commercial. Yeah. And that's why some of the songs became commercial 20, 30 years later.
Get into the car. We'll be the passenger. We'll ride through the city tonight. We'll see the city's ripped back sides. We'll see the bright and hollow sky. And all the cars and black guitars.
The Passenger was first released as a B-side in 1977.
I am the passenger. And I ride and I ride. I ride through the city's back sides. I see the stars come out of the sky. Yeah, the bright and hollow sky. You know, it looks so good tonight.
In the early 1980s, Iggy moved to New York. Since then, he's released 10 further albums, but few have matched the popularity of his work in Berlin.